Yeah, man, greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Highly I Selassie I the First, Rastafari. Yeah, man, I want to welcome everyone forward to episode number 7 of Reasoning with the Rastapreneur. Give thanks for everyone that's tuned in today. I know, last time you heard episode number 5 and 6 is about 2016. So let's say I took a 3-year break. But sometimes you just need to do that to do refresh. In all actuality, I got uncommitted and now I'm recommitted, right? It happens to all of us. So I'm coming forward. Episode number 7 of Reasoning with the Rastapreneur. I promise to give it to you every week moving forward. Like we always do, Reasoning with the Rastapreneur, we name every episode after a Bob Marley song. So today's Bob Marley song is Real Situation, right? So you remember Bob say, check out the real situation. Nation war against nation. So I want to give you the real situation, what's going on in the music industry, so that some of you that's following my journey in terms of trying to be successful in the music industry can navigate some of the hurdles or it's called mountains that I had to climb, so that you don't have to lose out on as much money as I had to lose out on to learn the lessons that I'm giving you. So that's what it's about, that type of vibe, right? So why don't you even catch up, right? You haven't heard from me in a few years. So for those who tuning in for the first time, they call me the Rastapreneur. A Rastapreneur to me is a peaceful, positive, loving individual that has the mindset to build their own business more than they believe in building someone else's. So most of you out there feel the same way. You would rather build your own rather than build somebody else's. So if you have the peaceful, positive, loving mindset, then you are a Rastapreneur yourself. So that being said, to catch you up, my company, Integrity Talent Management Group, is now the management company of a platinum recording artist. The same artist that we were working with before. Do It Like Me is the name of the song. Hashtag Do It Like Me Challenge was what I referenced or was featured in the Wall Street Journal back when I talked about it before. So now the song has went platinum, so I'm a platinum manager, my company, and then I'm the manager of a digital marketing campaign that went platinum, and that was actually my campaign. So I'm actually feeling great about that. I've been outside of the country. I've been outside the country before. I told you with Jamaica, but I've been overseas now. So I went to Germany. We had back-to-back dates in Germany back in February. So that was pretty cool. Shout out Dollar Bill. Shout out my man B Rome. What going? And then Pensacola. We did the Pensacola Fest again like we did last year. So shout out Kim Cox in Pensacola, Florida, and everyone. We've actually traveled a little bit, so I've learned a little bit more, and I actually had my most successful campaign in terms of, Do It Like Me is the most successful in terms of results. Of course, it's a platinum campaign, but I have started managing a singer-songwriter named Iro Clayto, who's overseas. And then I started managing a digital campaign for an artist called Cometic 9. He's a reggae artist. And that was the successful campaign that I'm talking about, because we got to 1 cent per click with Facebook ads on him. So it's like, man, believe in the power of those Facebook ads, for real. We used a little bit of nothing in terms of a big marketing campaign. It made a big buzz, and people are starting to reach out to him and things like that. So that's fast forwarding there. So again, welcome to episode number 7, Reasoning with the Rastapreneur. This episode is called The Real Situation, and the reason it's called The Real Situation because the title is the different ways that artists make money off each song. Yeah, I know it's a long title, but think about it. Stay with me. The different ways that artists make money off each song. So before we get into it, let's each and every person know that there are only 2 owners of each song. Yeah, I know I didn't want to. 2 owners of each song. There are the composer of the music, meaning like the producer, if we want to put it that way, and there's the writer of the lyrics. So let's say the composer and the writer. Those are the 2 owners of each song. There might be multiple composers, multiple writers. Those are the only 2 owners of each and every song that ever exists. Now, with that, there are 2 components how artists get paid off each and every song. There is the sound recording, which is the actual song, the audio piece of the song, and there is the music publishing, which is the musical works and the lyrics aspect of the song. Each one of those categories, you get reproduction rights, sync and licensing rights, and you get performing rights. Now, when you say performing rights, to most people, they think about performing rights organizations. like ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, which of course we will talk about those later. But in terms of now, what I want to talk about is the sound recording piece of it. So let's kind of start with the reproduction rights of the sound recording. So that really refers in today's time, because we're in 2019, to the digital sales. So just say like the iTunes downloads, where somebody actually paid for your song. That's what the reproduction rights in terms of the sound recording. It used to matter for CDs when the CDs were still relevant, and the vinyl of the actual vinyls, the records, you know, when records were released. So that was the reproduction rights. In terms of the performing rights, in terms of sound recording, you're saying it's talking about the streams, it's talking about AM, FM radio, talking about satellite radio and internet radio spins. Now, in terms of satellite radio, internet radio spins, I kind of want the artist that's getting tuned for the first time. If you're not on Sound Exchange, pause it and come back to this video, but go sign up for Sound Exchange, because that's how you collect your satellite and internet spins, airplay spins, the royalties for those for the performing rights. And then sync and license, I feel like that's kind of like self-explanatory, where people get the aspect. It's like if your song is placed on a TV commercial or a television series, or in terms of film, to say a movie or a documentary. And in terms of like the internet usage, just say like a web series or some type of YouTube show or something like that. You know, that's a sync and licensing rights for the sound recording. So basically we covered the sound recording, who get paid for that. So sound recording, also, in addition to the artist, which is the performer that gets paid, you have the musicians that actually played any instrument that's on the song, and the background singers that actually sung on the song. This is where they see their royalties too, from the sound recording. This is usually paid to a label, because most people are signed with a label, so it's usually paid directly to the label, and the label pays you whatever agreement you have. Or if you're not signed with a label, of course, then it comes directly to you. Let's move forward to like the music publishing piece of it, which is, again, I'm talking about the musical works, like the lyrics and the melody, you know, aspect of it. That's the music publishing piece. So again, you have the reproduction rights. Now in this one, the streams and downloads matter in reproduction in terms of the publishing part of it. So that's the little tricky difference from the sound recording and the publishing there. And again, for publishing, it's only for writers and publishers. These are the only people to get paid. So not performers, not musicians, not writers and publishers. So the reproduction, again, is the streams and the downloads in this age. Would have been CDs, vinyls, you know, back in the old age. But for now, just the streams and the downloads. Now, in terms of sync and licensing, it still really works the same. It's a different royalty, though, for music and publishing, but it's still the writers and the publishers of the song now are getting paid for the sync and licensing, with syncing with TV, film, or internet, you know. Now, let's get to the performing rights part of the publishing, and this is the part I really want us to pay attention to, because this is kind of maybe the most vital part. This is what people fighting for. This is why it's publishing companies that don't worry about being a record label, but they just administer people's publishing, because you have the writer piece of this music publishing. That's a royalty that comes quarterly, and then you have the publishing piece, which is a royalty that comes quarterly. And it's actually domestic and international royalties for each one. So it's domestic writers and domestic publishing royalties that come. Now, in terms of how you collect these royalties, you have to be signed with a performing rights organization, which I talked about before. In America, that's ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC. In Europe, it's MCPS. Or PRS for the writing part of Europe. If you're in a different country outside of that, you might have to search for yourself. I'm sorry I didn't do that much research for you yet. With that being said, though, once you sign up, make sure you sign up as a writer and a publisher. Even if you get your publishing administered by somebody else, make sure you sign up yourself as a writer and a publisher. Now, please pay attention, because I talked about the performing rights organizations. I want to talk about something that's separate from those, which is neighboring rights royalties. Most of you artists have never heard of it. I had never heard of it before, like 2 years ago. But man, me and my artists did some money there, and I helped a few other artists to the tunes of like hundreds of thousands of dollars unclaimed. And it's millions of dollars that I'm finding out are unclaimed, because artists don't even know about these royalties. So if you've never heard of neighboring rights royalties, please get in contact with me. My link below is like my website, theRASTApreneur.com. Get in contact with me. I will help you claim your unclaimed neighboring rights royalties. I will charge a commission, but it will be the smallest commission you ever seen, and you'll see a lot of money that way. I'm not trying to sell myself on this, but I want artists to be aware. Neighboring rights royalties. So think about that. I just gave you all those ways that you get paid off the streams and the plays of a song. But then if it's playing heavily, that leads to bookings. It leads to merchandise. It leads to endorsements and brand partnerships, you know what I mean? Which is where the big bucks start rolling, which is with Amigos when you get with Apple and you start doing these type of things. So those are the different ways that artists get paid off of each and every song. So imagine if they got multiple hit songs. They getting this same money each and every way. They're getting these royalties each and every way. And what are royalties? Royalties are the sums that are paid to rights owners whenever their creation is monetized in any other way. So that's the easiest way to put it. It's the money that rights owners get when they create something and it gets sold. Royalties are what they get. So that's how it goes. Yeah, I think that should basically close it up for this episode of Reasoning with the Rastapreneur. I hope this information was valuable to ones that's, again, following the same dream. Hopefully, I've lost millions of dollars to learn the lessons that I'm teaching you, or not say teaching, I'm not a teacher, but I'm sharing with you. And I hope you find value in it. With that being said, I like to close by saying I've used the hashtag Spread Love Like a Virus since 2014. I encourage you to use it too. Even if you don't use the hashtag, I encourage you to live your life that way. Spread love like a virus. And how do you do so? Start with being a blessing to somebody today and then make that a routine. So you see somebody that needs a smile, somebody that needs a helping hand or something like that, be a blessing to them today. Till the next time I check in with you, which will be next week, give thanks for reasoning with the Rastapreneur. Rastafari I love. Bless up. Yeah, man.